Dear students, today I am going to discuss with you all the topic measuring human development from chapter number 4, human development. Okay, and this chapter is from the book Human Geography. So today we are going to discuss that how do we measure human development, okay, and how do we provide rank to different countries of the world. Okay. So in our previous discussion, we have discussed about the growth and the development. We came to know about the basic differences between growth and development, and also we have discussed about the pillars of human development. Okay, that is equity, sustainability, productivity, and empowerment as the pillars of human development. So today, what I am going to discuss is about measuring human development. That how we are going, how do we measure human development? Okay, the level of human development. See. So basically, you all know that every country in the world, they are provided with different ranks. Okay, they are provided with different ranks. Okay, in the Human Development Index. So how do they are provided these different ranks? How they are placed in different ranks actually? They are placed in the different ranks depending upon the score they get. Okay, depending upon the score they get, and this score, okay, the score it ranges between 0 to 1. The score it ranges between 0 to 1. See. So the Human Development Index, it ranks the countries based on their performance in the key areas of health, education, and access to resources. So basically, in the Human Development Index, different countries of the world, okay, they are being provided with different ranks on the basis of their performance. Okay, on the basis of their performance in the key areas of health, in the key areas of education, and access to resources. So yesterday also I have said you, okay, the three different key areas of human development are, okay, access to health facilities, access to education facilities, and access to the resources. Okay, so depending upon the score, okay, the country it gets from areas of health, education, and access to resources, okay, they are being provided different ranks. Okay, and what is the range of the score? These rankings are based on a score between 0 to 1 that a country earns from its records in the key areas of human development. Okay, so these rankings are based on a score between 0 to 1. Okay, so the score it ranges between 0 to 1. So for health 0.33, for education 0.33, and for access to resources 0.33. So overall score is 1. So a country which will get rank very close to 1, they will be placed at the higher ranks. Okay, and the countries which will be close to 0, they will be placed at the lower ranks. Okay, so depending upon the score, okay, which is gained by a particular country in these three areas of human development, that is health, education, and access to resources, a country is being provided with different ranks. See. So the indicator chosen to assess health is the life expectancy at birth. Okay, so how do we provide the score, okay, in terms of health facilities? Basically we choose, okay, the life expectancy of the people at the birth. Okay, that means during the time of birth, okay, what is the life expectancy? Okay, how many years a particular person will live, average years a particular person will live. So if the life expectancy is higher, okay, that means, okay, the people has a higher chances of living for a longer period of time. The people will be having a healthy life. Okay, because a person who is having healthy life, obviously that person will be living will be having a higher life expectancy, isn't it? So the countries which are having a higher life expectancy, okay, they get more score, okay, in this health facilities and all. Okay, because maybe the health facilities is better in those countries actually. See. So the indicator chosen to assess health is the life expectancy is at birth. A higher life expectancy means that people have a greater chance of living longer and a healthier life. Okay, so a higher life expectancy means a person has a greater chance, more chance of living longer and a healthier life. Okay, so the countries which are having more life expectancy, having better health facilities, they will be getting more score in this health facilities. Okay. The adult literacy rate and the gross enrollment ratio represents access to knowledge. Okay, and how do we measure knowledge, access to knowledge? Okay, the adult literacy rate, that is the percentage of literate people and the gross enrollment ratio. Gross enrollment ratio means the number of child who are enrolled in the schools. Okay, so we take into consideration the adult literacy rate and the gross enrollment ratio to access the knowledge. Okay, to assess the knowledge actually, that whether knowledge is easily accessible or not. So if the literacy rate is higher and the gross enrollment ratio is higher, that means the people have better access to the education facilities and all. Okay, but if the literacy rate is less and the gross enrollment ratio is less, it shows that the people find it difficult to get access to the education facilities. Okay, so the countries which are having a higher literacy rate and a higher gross enrollment ratio, okay, those countries are considered, okay, to have better education facility, better access to education facilities and all. So obviously they will be getting, okay, more score in terms of access to knowledge. Okay, and the countries which are having less literacy rate, less gross enrollment ratio, they will be having a less score. Okay, and the number of children who are able to read and write and the number of children enrolled in school show how easy or difficult it is to access knowledge in a particular country. Okay, so the number of children who are able to read and write, okay, and the number of children who are enrolled in the schools, it shows, okay, that whether it is very easy to access education or it is very difficult to access education. So if more number of adults and the childs are enrolled in the schools, it means that education facilities is available for all the people. But if less number of people are adult, children are enrolled in the schools, actually it means that maybe getting education is quite difficult actually. Okay, so that is why the literacy rate and the gross enrollment ratio is less. Okay, so in terms of in order to measure the health, okay, access to health facilities, we take into consideration the life expectancy, and in order to measure access to education facilities, we take into account the adult literacy rate and the gross enrollment ratio. Okay, and in order to measure the access to resources, okay, we take into consideration the purchasing power of the people in US dollar. Okay, purchasing capacity of the people. I think in economics also you have heard about this term, purchasing capacity or the purchasing power. So whether the people, they have the capacity or the power to purchase the goods, commodities for their survival or not. Okay, if they have the purchase, okay, capability to purchase, okay, purchasing capability, so that means they are economically better. Okay, and they have easy access to the resources. Okay, but if the purchasing capacity is less, so they are not having easy access to the resources. Okay, so in this three field, for health 0.33, for education 0.33, and for access to resources 0.33 is the total score. And out of this total score, a country gets, okay, out of 0.33 some countries get okay, 0.2, some countries get 0.5, 0.15, like this way. Okay, and the overall score is done, and the addition is done from this health, okay, from education and from access to resources. We combine the score and we do the total, and after the total you will find that some countries are getting 0.57, some countries are getting 0.67, some countries are getting 0.8, like this way. So the countries which are having more rank, okay, more score close to 1, like 0.7, 0.75, 0.78, they will be placed higher in the level of human development, and the countries which are having 0.5, 0.4, like this way, they will be placed at the lower level of human development index. See, so each of this dimension is given a weightage of 1/3. 1/3 means 0.33. Okay, so each of this dimension, that is access to health, access to education, and access to resources, is given a weightage of 1/3, and the human development index is a sum total of the weights assigned to all these dimensions. Okay, and the human development index is a sum total of the weights which is assigned to all these dimensions. Okay, the closer a score is to 1, the greater is the level of human development. So if the score is very close to 1, that means that country is having a higher level of human development, and if the score is very less, very close to 0, that means that country is having a low level of human development. Just take an example. A country which has a score of 0.983 would be considered very high level of human development, while a country which is having 0.268 would be considered as having low level of human development. Okay, so this is how we measure the human development actually. Okay, so on the basis of the score the countries get, okay, we place the country according to the Okay, according to the descending order, means the countries which are having higher score, they are placed at the higher level, and the countries which are having lower score, they are placed at the lower level. Okay, so like this way, the countries which are at the higher level, higher score, they are at the top ranks. Okay, and the countries with the lower score, they are at the lower ranks. Okay, and this way actually first, second, third, fourth, fifth, like this way ranks are being provided to different countries, okay, in the Human Development Index. See, the Human Development Index, it measures attainment in human development. It reflects what has been achieved in the key areas of human development, yet it is not the most reliable measure, and this is because it does not say anything about the distribution. Okay, so basically the Human Development Index, it measures attainment in human development. Attainment in human development means what has been achieved. Okay, so basically Human Development Index measures what? It measures what has been achieved by the people, whether they have achieved education, whether they have achieved better education facility, health facilities or not, whether they have achieved equal access to resources or not. Okay, so Human Development Index basically measures the attainment. Okay, and this is like, we cannot say that it is a most reliable measure, okay, of measuring level of human development actually, because sometimes what happens, the distribution is only not proper actually. Okay, distribution of health facilities, distribution of resources, distribution of educational facilities is not done properly. So that is why sometimes we find that the people are not having access to these things and all. Okay, so obviously it will hamper the level of human development. Okay, see. So the Human Development Index, it measures attainment in human development. It reflects what has been achieved in the key areas of human development, yet it is not the most reliable measure. Okay, so attainment, we basically measure the level of attainment, so it is not a most reliable measure, okay, to measure the level of human development. This is because it does not say anything about the distribution. So the attainment, it does not provide us information, detailed information about the distribution, okay, whether this access to health, education and resources are distributed properly or not. Okay, so in order to cross-examine actually, like we are having the Human Development Index to measure the level of human development. Okay, so in order to measure the shortfall, okay, shortfall means whether like in which areas, okay, in the people, they have not achieved actually. So in order to measure the shortfall actually, okay, like we also prepared the Human Poverty Index. Okay, so Human Poverty Index, it basically provides us information about the shortfall. Okay, that means it provides us information that the people, what they have not been able to achieve actually. See. So the Human Poverty Index, okay, it is another you can say measurement actually, which measures the level of shortfall, okay, which measures the level of poverty. Okay, so the Human Poverty Index is related to the Human Development Index. Like the Human Development Index, it measures the level of human development, what has been achieved, and the Human Poverty Index, okay, it basically measures what has not been achieved, what is the shortfall actually. Okay, so basically in the Human Poverty Index, the countries are provided ranking according to the level of poverty. The countries which are having, okay, more level of poverty actually, okay, they will be placed at the higher. Okay, so it is a non-income measure. So this Human Poverty Index is a non-income measure. The probability of not surviving till the age of 40, the adult literacy rate, the number of people who do not have access to clean water, and the number of small children who are underweight, all are taken into account to show the shortfall in human development in any region. Okay, so basically it is a non-income measure. Okay, we does not take into account the income level actually. Okay, we does not measure the income level. Okay, we take into like to measure the shortfall or to measure the Human Poverty Index, we basically take into account, okay, whether the people are having a life expectancy of 40 and above or not, whether how many children are educated, whether they are getting equal facilities or not, whether they are having access to clean water or not, whether the children are suffering from malnutrition or not. So these are basically taken into account, okay, to measure the shortfall, okay, to prepare the Human Poverty Index. Okay, so in this regard, we can say that Human Development Index, it basically measures the level of attainment, okay, that what has been achieved in the field of health, education and resources. And the Human Poverty Index, it measures the shortfall, what has not been achieved. Okay, and the countries are provided with different ranks, okay, the label according to the level of poverty actually. Okay, so this is how we measure the level of human development. Okay, and also to cross examine the level of human development, we measure the level of poverty also. Okay, see, but one interesting fact you should know is that one country is the exceptional actually. Okay, like the country of Bhutan. Okay, the country of Bhutan is one exceptional case actually. Okay, Bhutan is the country, okay, which does not measure the level of attainment or the level of shortfall actually. That means, okay, it does not try to measure whether the people they are having a higher level of development or not. Okay, not through this access to health, education and all, but through happiness. Okay, they try to measure that whether the people are happy or not. So if the people are happy, okay, that means they are having a better standard of life. Okay, having higher level of human development. It is true, because if we get access to all the facilities, obviously we will be happy. Okay, and if we are happy, that means we are having a higher level of human development, isn't it? So Bhutan is following this theory actually. So you may be getting a question, okay, short question, that which country has officially proclaimed gross national happiness excuse me, which country has officially proclaimed gross national happiness as the measure of the country's progress? Okay, so Bhutan is the country actually. See, so Bhutan is the only country in the world to officially proclaim the gross national happiness as the measure of the country's progress. So material progress and technological developments are approached more cautiously, taking into consideration the possible harm they might bring to the environment or the other aspects of the cultural and the spiritual life of the Bhutanese. So basically the Bhutan people, okay, they does not measure the material progress. Okay, they does not measure how much wealth they have, whether they are having the cars, whether they are having the buildings or not. So, okay, they does not measure that. They does not measure the level of technological development. Why? Because they consider this technological development and material progress will cause only environmental degradation. Okay, and Bhutan is a country which it is a carbon negative country actually. Okay, means the environmental condition is very good in Bhutan. Okay, so they does not want to hamper the environment through material progress or through technological development. Okay, so they basically take into consideration, okay, the level of happiness of the people to measure its level of development. See, this simply means material progress cannot come at the cost of happiness. Okay, so this simply means that the material progress cannot come at the cost of the happiness. The gross national happiness encourages us to think of the spiritual, non-material and qualitative aspect of the people. So basically the gross national happiness, okay, which Bhutan takes into account to measure the level of development, okay, it basically encourages us to think about the spiritual life, think about the non-material life and the qualitative aspect of the development, not about how much wealth I am having, not about whether I am having a car or not, not about whether I am having a 3-4 storied building or not that, but they try to measure the spiritual level. Okay, they try to measure the non-material progress, they try to measure the qualitative aspect of life, okay, to measure the level of human development. Okay, so this is how, okay, the level of human development is measured in different countries actually. Okay, so actually, okay, for all the countries the level of human development is measured, okay, the level of human development is measured using access to resource, access to health and education facilities. Okay, but Bhutan is the only country, okay, they try to measure its own level of development on the basis of this gross national happiness. Okay, so this is what about measuring human development. Okay, and here I try to provide you information about how human development, okay, how we measure the level of human development, why we say that these countries are higher in human development and these countries are lower in human development. Okay, why we say that India is a country having a medium level of human development, why do we say that Norway and all the other countries having a higher level of human development, okay, and the other countries they are having low level of human development. Just because, okay, we try to assess, okay, we try to assess the access to education facilities, the access to health facility and the access to the resources actually. Okay, so this is what about measuring human development. I hope you all have understood that how the human development index is prepared and how different countries are being provided with different ranks.